Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. I pay respect to the Buddha. Dr. Kanchana just recited invitation to give Dharma talk. She referred to the very first time when the Buddha was enlightened and he was thinking whether he should preach or not. Because the sentient beings, they may not understand, they may not appreciate, they may not get any benefit from it. So he was considering just passing away quietly. If that should happen, then we will have silent Buddha who will not teach. So as the Buddha was considering this, whether he should pass away or he should continue preaching, then Brahma came. Brahma, the one who sits on the ground floor, on the first floor, as you entered, you will see Brahma. Brahma could read the mind of the Buddha. That is his special quality. He could read the mind of others. And he thought that if the Buddha should decide not to preach, then many sentient beings who would have benefited from his teaching will not get the benefit. So he kneeled down and he asked the Buddha, please consider preaching to the sentient beings. Because it is true that some of them will not benefit at all. Comparing to the turtle, fish and turtle, some of them, comparing to the lotus, the lotus, they talk about 4 different types of lotuses. Some of them are still under the water, in the mud, some of them coming up, some of them already above the water, and some of them high enough, ready to blossom, ready to open the petals. These kind, they will benefit. When the ray of the sunlight comes, the warmth of the sunlight, then the petals would open. Comparing to the people, there are some of them who will be like this, who will be like lotus, ready to blossom, and they will benefit. They will benefit from the teaching of the Buddha. So the Buddha accepted his invitation, and thus he started to preach. Just like how Brahma invited the Buddha to preach, I now invite you to preach. That's what she said. That's what she said in Pali, and that's what she said translated into Thai. So that is called invitation for Dharma talk. You will, wherever you go, you will find in Buddhist countries, you will find someone saying something that you don't understand. But this is now you understand, okay, what she said. Now today is full moon. Full moon, usually it is full moon of the 6th month, and the month is usually called Vesak. But this is a special year. It happens every 4 years. Instead of full moon of the 6th month, it is now full moon of the 7th month. But still, we celebrate as Vesak. Vesak is the day when that little prince was born. That little prince who was named Siddhartha. Siddhartha means wish fulfilling. He was born in the garden in Lumbini. And this baby, this prince, later on became the Buddha. So sometimes we call the baby Buddha, but actually it is not the baby Buddha, but it is the baby, the prince, So what we do then, when you go down, just on the way to lunch, you will give bath. You will give bath to the baby Buddha downstairs. Okay, so that's what we are going to do after this. After Dharma talk, you allow the monastics first to pour water on the baby Buddha, and you do the same. So that is the celebration of this new baby born, who later on became the Buddha. So Vesak, we celebrate Vesak not only that this little prince was born. Oh, there's another information, John. Yesterday I just corresponded with people in Nepal. We are organizing ABC, Asian Buddhist Connection Conference in Lumbini next year, March 8th to 10th. next year. So when I mentioned Lumbini, suddenly I recall that I should give you this information. So we will be going there to write papers, present papers, for the Buddhists in Nepal, to understand, to be connected with the Buddhists around the world. So that is the work from our temple. We are ABC International, and ABC Local would be the Nepali, the Buddhist Nepali in Nepal, that they will be organizing the local conference. So that is what is happening next year, early next year. In Lumbini, usually they always talk about the Buddha. I told them that when you come to Lumbini, you should celebrate the mother, not the son. But we always focus on the son, no? The son who later on became the Buddha. But when we come to Lumbini, we should celebrate, or not only the mother, but the motherhood. The motherhood which is in every one of us. Male, female, you can still have that motherhood. And that motherhood actually will nurture the world, heal the world. Ban Hom Hak is very important. Ban Hom Hak is very important to have this motherly love that you are connected. So when we think about this baby born on this day, a full moon of the 6th month, if he will later on, if he didn't become enlightened, then we have no interest in him. We have interest in this baby when he grew up until he became enlightened. He became enlightened when he was 35. You still have few years to go up to 35, no? He left his palace when he was 29. He spent 6 years wandering in the forest, searching to answer the question, how am I to overcome suffering, which is as he saw it, suffering of old age, suffering of sickness, suffering of death. So he was looking for an answer for that. And enlightenment brought about understanding of how he can overcome. And it is not only he who can overcome, but he also guided us, showed us the way. Enlightenment is accessible to everyone. This is the beauty of Buddhist teaching. It is accessible to everyone. No gender. Once a person is enlightened, that person is not enlightened as a man or as a woman. He or she is an enlightened being. Isn't that beautiful? Enlightenment is about the quality of the mind. When the mind frees itself from the binding of delusion, then you become enlightened. And the Buddha recognized this, that both men and women can be enlightened. Because of that, he allowed women to take monastic life. He allowed women to be ordained on this reason, on this particular reason, that women can also be enlightened. Now when we celebrate Vesak, it is not about the birth of this baby Buddha, but it is about our understanding or our faith in the Buddha. We have faith that this particular man was enlightened way back in India, some 2,600 years ago. We have faith in him and we followed his instruction. Many of us, claim that we are Buddhist, but we don't care for his teaching. You ask some Thai people, they don't even know, they cannot even count on their fingers what are the 5 precepts, what are the 8 precepts, They cannot even count on their fingers. So they are just Buddhist by birth certificate. They are not Buddhist in practice. Buddhism becomes real to you only when you put the teaching of the Buddha into practice. You live Buddhism. So each one of us as Buddhists, as we proclaim ourselves as Buddhists, we should live Buddhism in our life. So as we stand out in international gathering, you must express the Buddhist teaching through your own action. Through your own action. So it is very important that we don't simply just have faith and then go to the temple and yakking around, gossiping about others, not looking at yourself. So I said, when you come to a temple, the Thai language, the temple is called Wat. Wat means temple, but as a verb, it means to take measurement. To take measurement of your own defilement. How much you have let go of your defilement. How much you are still clinging to your defilement. The more you cling to your defilement, the more suffering you have. The more suffering you have. So the more you can let go of this clinging to I, me, my, mine, then you become burdenless. You become burdenless. You don't have to carry with you this burden of hatred, burden of greed, burden of anger. Buddhism talks about 3 fires. Lobh, Krodh, Lông. Lobh is greed, anger, and delusion. Actually, they are the 3 brothers, 3 brothers coming around. You are jealous. You are jealous. You are jealous because you have deluded mind. Because you have delusion, that's why you are jealous of other people. And when you are jealous of other people, it is not enough that you are jealous, but you are trying to cause harm to them. So anger comes. You don't get what you want, you become angry. Other people get what you want, you become angry also. Or you become annoyed, Annoyed is the lesser degree of anger. So when you really come to the temple, you take measurement of your own understanding, how you can free yourself. How you can free yourself. And always when you read Buddhist texts, it is not the teaching in the book. The teaching must be in flesh, in blood. That is how we Buddhists can continue on, can at least share with others how you have put the teaching into practice. We may not be enlightened being, but at least we have done something. Like this particular case, how I applied the teaching, how I can help myself, and then I can help others. So Buddhist teaching should not be only in the cupboard. You go into the library and see how we even put gold leaf, on the cupboard, because this is valuable, sacred text, So we really adorn even the cupboard with gold. Let us adorn Buddhist teaching in our life. So that is the message on Vesak. And as we complete our ceremony in the morning, we go down and don't forget to give bath to the baby Buddha. Okay? Wishing you happy Vesak, all of you. Thank you.